I love gardening, but it's been a tough year. If you want to see how I created a simplified garden planner in Apple Notes with my iPhone, keep watching. First section, I sketch out the concept for the planner using the markup tool. I will switch back and forth between the concept sketch and the actual planner, so you can see the design sketch and the real planner side by side. To create the base of the garden planner, I select Notes. I create a folder called Planner, then I create a new note on either iCloud or on my iPhone. Here is how I create the colorful planner cover. I switch to an app called Sketchbook. I download a picture from the internet that I will paint over in muted purple and green tones to fit my aesthetic. Apple Notes has a markup tool too, but I prefer to use Sketchbook for finer detail work. Sketchbook is completely free and you don't have to worry about in-app purchases. Once I am happy with the cover, I save the final, colorful image from Sketchbook to my photos. Then, I add the image to the planner note. The second section, I design is the style for the garden bed layout. I have decided that I want to draw colorful borders and cute vegetables for the design. At the top of the garden layout section, I will add a title with a tractor emoji at the end. Because my garden is laid out in a rectangular pattern, I decided to draw the design in numbers. It lets me note the dimensions of each planting bed and easily calculate how many plants I can fit in the garden. This year, I plan to grow a small garden and not use all the space. I also picked vegetables that would be harvested over just a few months. I wanted to have the freedom and flexibility to go on vacation, if the opportunity arose, without worrying about vegetables dying on the vine. Here is a look at my garden layout from 2012. That year, I did many more types of vegetables, and had a long growing season, from early spring through early winter. I take a screenshot of this year's garden layout. I crop the image to just the plant bed. I save the screenshot to Photos. I open this screenshot in Photos, because I want to rotate the image before I insert it into the garden planner. I insert the picture of the layout into the planner. In the design, I planned to dress up this simple screenshot from numbers of the layout by adding more color and drawing little vegetable symbols using the markup tool. Rather than drawing the same vegetable multiple times, I will use the lasso tool to select the vegetable, and then press and hold until the duplicate option pops up. When I press duplicate, a second copy of my selection is created. To add a bit more color, I will use the ruler to draw different color borders around each vegetable planted. The garden layout is colorful and functional. It is a plan that fits my planting space, the level of work I want to do, and the vegetables I want to grow. Here is a side-by-side of my concept sketch and the live planner. This planner will have 7 sections. Section 3 is a plant tracker. I like to note how much I harvested by day for each plant and which vegetables did well or had problems. The concept design for the plant tracker is finished. I create the tracker within a table. The number column in the plant tracker is based on the number that I assign to a plant in the garden layout. I add 8 rows to make a place for notes on each of the 8 vegetables I planted. I double check the plant numbers one more time. I add an emoji at the end. I had to use the blueberry emoji for blackberries. Here is a side-by-side of the plant tracker's concept sketch and the live planner. Section 4 is a 12-month garden almanac, where I plan out my fertilizing, seeding, and harvesting months. The calendar includes the prep work I do over the winter, and starting the seeds inside during the spring. To build the calendar, I create a table with 4 columns and add enough rows to enter each type of activity. The first quarter of the year, January through March, is when I will add 1 inch of compost or manure to the garden. In the second quarter, April through May, I will start growing from seed indoors. I use an emoji, rather than spelling out each vegetable name. I also use emojis to mark the different activities, like planting seeds, fertilizing, waiting for vegetables to mature, and harvesting the vegetables. In the third quarter, July through September, I will have the most work to do. I will plan out what months I will be moving plants outside, waiting for the harvest to come in, and then picking the vegetables. I use the hourglass emoji to show a month where I am waiting for a plant to be ready for the next step, like moving outside or harvesting. I use the sheaf of rice emoji to designate a month when a plant should be ready to harvest. If there isn't anything to do that month with a vegetable, I insert a dash. In the fourth quarter, October through December, I will likely only still have hot peppers producing until the first frost. I often take pictures of the meals I cook with my fresh vegetables for future garden inspiration. Here is a side-by-side of the 12-month calendar concept sketch and the live planner. Section 5 is a seed diary with all the information to grow seeds and transfer them outside. Here is a side-by-side of the seed diary's concept sketch and the live planner. I will create a table to store all the information I need about growing a vegetable from seed. Rather than constantly reading the back of the seed packets, the seed diary stores all of the important information electronically for sprouting the seeds, moving plants outside, and harvesting. For the jalapeno seedlings, I must avoid temperatures colder than 55 degrees Fahrenheit. The new seedlings also must avoid temperatures warmer than 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The seedlings will germinate in 14 to 28 days. I keep the seedlings indoors until March. Once overnight temperatures remain over 55 degrees Fahrenheit, I move them outdoors in April. I expect to start harvesting vegetables once the plants get from 60 to 210 days old. Section 6 is a schedule of the days I plan to harvest vegetables or weed the beds. I use the calendar app. I go to the year view. Then rotate the phone to landscape for a screenshot of the 6 months I will be weeding and harvesting vegetables from the garden. I crop the image to remove any unneeded information and save it to photos. I import the screenshot into the planner. I zoom in on the screenshot and use the markup tool to highlight in yellow the days that I will weed the garden. I plan to do this every 2 weeks on Saturdays from May through September. Next, I add in the days that I plan to pick vegetables from the garden in blue. I plan to pick any ripe vegetables on Wednesdays. I don't know about you, but I feel a lot less overwhelmed when I lay out a goal, step by step. To make weeding even easier on myself, I create an appointment with a reminder to weed every 2 weeks, in the morning, before the heat of the day, using the calendar app. Lastly, having a key ensures I won't forget what any of the emojis in my iPhone garden planner mean. I'll note all the vegetables planted this year, and the emoji assigned to them. I record what each activity and corresponding emoji is, from fertilizing to planting seeds, weeding, and harvesting. And there you have it, a complete garden planner. I didn't give up something I love to do. I downsized it to fit in the time I had. Let's do a final scroll through. I started with an image I like. For the second section, I drew a garden layout, a plan for my planting beds. I note which of the plants do well, and which struggle, with a plant tracker. That way I can adjust what I plant next growing season. I create my custom calendar of the winter preparation, spring seeding, and year-round harvesting I plan to do. Rather than constantly reading the back of the seed packet, I create a seed diary of the important information for sprouting the seed, moving plants outside, and harvesting. I make a plan for when to weed the garden and pick vegetables. Lastly, having a key ensures I won't forget what any of the emojis in my iPhone garden planner mean. If you enjoyed this garden planner walkthrough, please like and subscribe.